Alright, we are back at it again
Right.
with another episode of one game a day. Is it? A game a day. Yes.
Something along those lines.
Yes. We don't know exactly what it's called already. A game a day. Now, we're going to continue our conversation. Okay, let me just explain. There is only two of us in this room.
Yes.
There's me, Joe Delicious, aka I'm just going to give myself another name like Hot Dog Joe. Or Hot Dog. I'm going to make a Hot Dog, Mr. Hot Dog.
Mr. Hot Dog.
And then we have Ray Ray over here.
Yep.
There's the two of us. Byron is not in the room.
Yep.
Which makes it a great occasion to reflect and to now, continue the conversation that on Genshin Impact
Mm-hmm.
without, the sweeping claims and statements of Byron. Tetris is a 10. Fuck. Tetris is a fucking 10. So I think today we can talk about two things.
Okay.
One is, if you want, we can continue talking about, does it make sense to say that Genshin Impact somehow does something to the Chinese gamer because of the one-child policy?
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, does it make people realize having a sibling is a good thing and therefore it's promoting? It might be aiding in the government policy. I don't know if you know, like right now the Chinese have implemented a 3-child policy.
I've heard.
A couple of years ago it was 2-child policies.
I've heard.
So they really want people to have babies and kids.
Yep.
But they're having big trouble.
Yep.
And the other one we can talk about is, if you remember all the comments, well, essentially, what is your response to Byron's comments? So Byron said a couple of things. One is Tetris is a fucking 10, and we can, take a look whether we agree with that. The other one he said was that, yes, Genshin Impact, all it does is clean people's pockets out of money, innocent people out of money. And the other one is whether games help people scale the Maslow's pyramid of needs in a healthy way. In other words, drugs don't scale very healthily because drugs make people value the top of the Maslow and ignore the bottom, and ultimately leads to people's physical and long-term destruction.
Okay.
Right? So there are probably games out there that scale Maslow's properly and games out there that don't.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we could have a discussion on that. So of these topics, which one do you want to start with? Or what? Yeah.
Well, in all honesty, I think if we was to start with the first topic, even though I'd be interesting to hear what your take on it be, I think it's grasping a bit at straws with how Genshin Impact connects with the Asian. What are you doing? With the one-child policy. I think it's a bit grasping at straws in that respect.
Why? Why do you say that?
Because it is not immediately evident to me if there is a strong connection between the two. The fact that you play as one of two twins and your whole quote-unquote mission is to find your other twin, it sounds, I think it's very one-dimensional in the sense that, how do I phrase this? It gives you a reason to search for this other being. But if you replace it with your best friend or replace it with somebody that you lost along the way, like you could replace your other twin with anyone that you possess a close connection to. Yes. And I think that is all of the incentive. That's all. That is the whole incentive summed up. Does it make sense?
You're saying you can replace it with someone else and the game will probably still play the same way.
Yes.
But my question to you is, and therefore, why didn't the game do that? Why did the game pick a twin instead of picking just some random friend to find?
Okay.
Yes.
On a very shallow analysis, it's just because if it is someone related to you, like who are you closest to in terms of, let's say, just like familial. Oh my god, not familial contact. But who, in theory, should you be closest to? You should be closest to the person closest to your age and closest in terms of familial ties, which is basically which should, in theory, be a carbon copy of yourself. And then you probably would split it into male and female, just so the player would have a choice between genders. That's my opinion on it.
Alright, if people can hear a sound in the background, it's our cleaner coming in to do vacuuming. No, I don't agree with that. I think I have a far more...
Okay, I'm listening.
Yes, for example, I told you about Honkai. Is that what it's called? Honkai Impact?
Yes.
Because I read a Bloomberg article that it was being banned specifically because the Chinese bureau that supervises, I think, gaming content or whatever it is, said it had too many girls in skimpy clothes and so forth.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that first says what? That means Chinese games content is regulated.
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, there is likely certain content that they would want to produce in their future games to ensure that they avoid being put on a red notice again.
Yep.
Right. So strategically, let's just assume, because I think that's the case, that Honkai Impact was actually quite profitable and very, very successful for the company.
Okay.
They want to, they're not allowed to essentially sell Honkai Impact anymore. They have to create another game. They could have picked any theme for the other game, yet they picked this specific theme, right? Which is, a sibling looking for another sibling. And I think there must be a strategic reason why they would do that, because fundamentally the company management at the top will say, hey, look, we need a theme that can be well protected from any future, red notices or future bans that could be in place. And one of the biggest things in China, which you should know because you're doing Asian studies, is, the Chinese government really cares about entertainment content that is not morally bad. In fact, they prefer entertainment that is morally good. There's a lot of things that they look for that it must be related to, Chinese culture and Chinese values, and that it is, not be anti-China, must not be pro-West, such that it is sacrificial to, Chinese institutions and so forth. It must be patriotic, blah 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 blah. Right? The entertainment content in China is regulated heavily. So you might say, yes, we are clutching straws with this one, which is, do we really think that the primary motivation why, Genshin Impact is about two siblings is because of the one-child policy? Maybe not. But to say that, my hypothesis or this guess is so far-fetched that it is seemingly impossible to... I think is probably wrong as well. There probably is a fundamental basis, and I think if we continue this conversation on the assumption that they did create this theme so that it won't get banned, maybe we'll have a more interesting conversation.
I viewed it as a very simplistic notion in how to say this. I view it as a very simplistic notion that searching for, like, a game where you are searching for another individual, it's been done before, and there is a road paved out to know, like, what it is like. Right. As long as you can convince the audience that the person you are searching for is of value to the player character. Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you: in Genshin Impact, what happens if you don't find your sibling? What happens if you do find the sibling? What is it that you know about the sibling?
At the beginning, all you know is that you and your sibling were separated.
Yes.
And then...
But why would you want to find them then? Fine, they were separated. But they're just a sibling. Why would you want to go look for a sibling in the game? Or was that not explained?
That was not explained. It is presented to us that when they were separated, one screams out for the other. And that I'm to interpret that, I
Yes.
really want to suffer this person because
Yes.
I am feeling pain.
Yes.
I, the player character, is feeling pain
Yes.
from having the loss of this individual.
And that's what you imply from the gameplay at the beginning.
Yes.
Yes. So that pretty much already is imposing a certain value system on the players, no?
Sure.
Right?
Yes.
Like there's no critique of why that needs to be the case. They just fundamentally embed that value into the player. Without
Yes.
explaining, right?
Yes.
Without any form of explanation of why, searching for a sibling is important. Now, does the player know the sibling previously, or
the sibling and I
Yes.
have been traveling across worlds for God knows how long.
right,
is the
right,
background information
right. Yes, so you share this common path.
that we have never seen. All we have been told is
Yes,
that this
yes.
has happened.
Yes, very, very good.
Yes.
And now, what happens if you don't find the sibling?
That I do not know. We
Right.
are on the journey to finding our sibling.
Right.
Um,
And during this gameplay, do anyone talk about your sibling? Do any of the characters?
we, the player character, are
Yeah.
actively trying to search for our sibling.
Yes.
In fact, the first
Yes.
place that we visit, we go around and we say, my mission is to find my sibling. Please help me.
Yes.
And so, in doing that,
Yes.
they go, okay, I can help you, but you gotta do something for me.
Right.
Which is a very classical way to introduce questing. As in, I give you a quest,
Right.
if you help me, I'll help you.
Right.
And that's how the questing system
Yes.
begins.
So this game sort of legitimizes quests when the ultimate aim is to pursue, some type of, return of the family or return of a lost family member or return of a lost sibling, right? Does it justify? Yeah. So let me just ask you this: to any point in the game, do you feel like, why the fuck am I looking for my sibling? I'd rather just do this quest because it's fun. Or at the bottom of your mind, you're going, yes, this is about finding my lost sibling. It might take fucking 10 years, but I know why this thing exists. I know the purpose of it.
Maybe I am too detached from the characters,
Yeah.
but in my mind, I'm going, alright, what does need to happen? Alright, I need to find my sibling.
Mm.
That is the major quest. What
Yes.
do I need to do this?
Yes.
I need to cooperate with you. Alright, I will do these quests with you.
Yes.
That's fundamentally what I'm thinking. But like even the player character, like we are currently up to the point in the story where the character is very driven to find or to reunite with said sibling.
Yeah.
To the point where we are doing things that don't quite make sense once you like step back and have a look at the situation.
Exactly. What doesn't make sense?
We are basically in the third quote unquote country.
Yeah.
We have joined a rebellion in
Yeah.
order to meet
Yes.
the god of this country,
Yes.
when all we wanted to do was just approach this god and ask them a few questions. But instead,
Right.
we have now joined some sort of form of resistance,
Yes.
going against said god.
Yes.
So
But you didn't have to. Or you must.
the game path
Yeah,
paths you to join. You must join the resistance.
Yes.
But given my own choice,
Yes.
fuck no.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So you can see the game is essentially painting out your life paths in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
and it's restricting your choices, right? It's not even restricting your choices. It's saying, look, there's this ultimate goal in life,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is to find your sibling,
Mm-hmm.
right? And these quests are given to you. It's sort of like isn't like Hercules and the 12 tasks or whatever the fuck it is.
Sure.
It's all of that, right? And it's all grounded or essentially, ultimately, it sits on this bed of enlightening pursuit of the pursuit being this moral good that is to find your family, to find your sibling, long lost sibling. Even though you don't have no idea what he's doing, right? Even though like surely that your okay. Let me ask you this: do you feel like your sibling is looking for you when you're playing this game?
No, because
Right.
spoilers, the
Yeah.
sibling is watching our every move.
Right.
Okay, fuck, I'll just spoil the game.
Yes.
At the end,
Yes.
By the somewhat end of the second country, you
Yeah.
find out that you're one of the greatest antagonists of this world that's
Yeah.
causing it to like that's causing all this mayhem is apparently a sibling who appeared in this world 500 years prior and has been like building and quote unquote
antagonist. So your sibling is ultimately your enemy.
Yes, but we don't want that.
Oh, right.
And the sibling says, you will understand once you've completed this journey why I'm doing this now.
Right.
And that is now our motivation to like go on this journey.
Right. So in this game, it's also saying, look, it is saying, don't misunderstand what your sibling is doing. But ultimately, there is a purpose for what he is doing as well. And right now, it might seem like he is an antagonist. In other words, he's your enemy.
Mm-hmm.
But really, there's a good benevolent reason or logic at the end of all of this that you must discover. It is your quest to discover why your sibling has done what she did. But fundamentally, you must know that they are a good person. Is that
we, the play character,
yes.
believe our twin is a good character and that they must have their reasons.
Exactly.
We just don't know it yet.
Exactly.
But currently, from where we are standing, what they're doing is complete and utter bullshit, and you are destroying the world, and you are destroying the system of the current world we are in.
So isn't it amazing how this the structure of these what do I put it? The structure of these values placed upon families, sort of. And it is structure that's built without you being there. You never witnessed how it was built. You've just walked into a temple, and this temple says, look, your sibling essentially is good. He is your enemy, but that is a false image. I mean, the real image is something that you don't see, and you must discover. And so you might have to walk for 10 years, as you say, through this, game of darkness and all of that, and believing that ultimately they are a good person. So 10 years on, you'll discover a good person.
That is the hope that the company behind this game does their writing well.
Yes.
Because it could end up doing, like, the story could end up not making sense. And then, like, what? No.
But let me just ask you this. Don't you feel like these set of moral values sort of grounds people in valuing the presence of siblings?
Valuing family over like duty? Because it is our duty, quote unquote.
It's not valuing family over duty. It is like literally valuing family, and therefore you perform your duty to satisfy that.
I viewed it as
like when you perform these quests, don't you feel like it's a duty? You meet this god, and the god says, "Hey, look, you got to join the war with me." You're like, "Oh fuck, all right, I have to do it." No, I viewed the narrative as I'm valuing family over the stability of the world. As in, my twin is causing the demise of this world, and I am somehow meant to be on her side. Yes, and you've just accepted it. Essentially, you will know why the world is being destroyed.
She says I will know why.
Yes.
I'm currently unconvinced.
Yes.
As the player, I am unconvinced.
Yes.
And as the player character, I am going, alright, I will believe you, but there better be like a very good reason at the end of the tunnel. Like there better be like a very good...
Right.
When I go on this journey, God help me if I don't agree with you at the end.
Right. But this game... Okay, so the facts are the game says factually this world is I don't know. Look, I don't know anything about this game, so like this world is evil or this world is bad, and it's due to your sibling 500 years ago. Doing something bad.
Basically, my sibling, quote unquote, raised a society. Raised as in like destroyed a civilization 500 years ago.
Right.
And is leading the gods destroyed a civilization 500 years ago, and my sibling went through it and has now joined with the remnants of that civilization in order to fight against the gods, are the ones that are keeping order within the world. As in the current system of the society is set by these gods, and my twin is seemingly going in opposition to them. So those are the facts presented in the game.
Now, so the I don't know how to put it, the emotional ambience that it communicates to you. Do you feel who is more likely like correct, or do you feel the
Look,
gods that
I'll sum it up in one Chinese term, which is 错的不是我，
yeah
错的是这个世界。
right
Yeah, it's that sort of feeling that is attached to this current situation,
right
or that's what I am expecting the situation to be.
but the thing is I still haven't gotten
What up?
a clarification from you, which is how do you feel towards your sibling that did all that versus to the gods of the present day?
How do we
Yeah.
feel towards it?
Like now that you know this is the facts and you
Mhm.
see how the gods are, and maybe is this society rather peaceful or not peaceful?
Well, I'm gonna say some are peaceful, some are not.
Okay, so when you see these gods, are they nice to you or not?
The last god just tried to kill me, so I'm gonna say some of them are not nice, but the last two were very nice.
Right. Do you feel like they're deceiving you, these gods, or do you feel like
No, they are not deceiving, but they are withholding information. Because we've asked them about these things, and,
Yes.
and they go, I understand what you're talking about,
yes?
I cannot tell you what's going on right
Right.
now.
Do you feel like your sibling is withholding information from you?
I know for a fact the sibling is withholding information from me, because
Right.
she goes, walk this path,
Yeah.
you'll understand what's going on. I can't explain it right now.
Right. And whom do you prefer to trust more? Your sibling or these gods? Given both are withholding information from you.
Me as a player or me as the character?
Well, you as a player and you as the character.
Me as
Is
the
there a difference between you as a player and you as a character?
Me as the player, I
Yes.
don't trust either side because
Yes.
it doesn't like there are, and I believe that there are like I don't say plot holes, but
Yes.
there's like leaps in logic that I'm not following. Maybe it's because
Yes.
I'm not reading the lore of the world enough,
Yes.
or maybe it's because I'm not paying attention to the game enough.
Yes.
But there seems inconsistencies on both sides, so I'm choosing to just go along
Yes.
with the journey that the game is proposing to me.
Yes.
And once I reach like a satisfactory like part,
Yes.
I can therefore make a better judgment.
Yes.
I feel like I'm way too early in the game to make a judgment of it. But to me, the actual character,
Yes.
seems to be siding with the twin
Right.
because we have literally joined a resistance.
Yes.
Like we could have walked up to the god and go, "Yo, I have a few
Yes.
questions.
Yes.
I don't mean to bother you.
Yes.
Please answer these for me.
Yes.
I'll get out of your face."
Yes.
But instead, we went, no, fuck you. I'm joining the resistance. You will answer my questions later once I've kicked your ass. Or once we've fixed this
Yeah.
country of
So
ours.
doesn't that mean in this gameplay or this story or this narrative is sort of implicitly legitimizing our relationship between you and your sibling over that of you versus the gods? Even though both are withholding information from you, it's like it is valuing.
I think it's just trying to present the narrative that
Yes.
gods are not infallible. Like, they
Yes.
have their flaws, and these flaws has caused a strife in the past. And
Is your sibling a god?
technically, the twins are some form of god from another world.
Right.
That's
right,
why
right.
we're called outlanders.
Right.
Because
Right.
we're not from this world.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm like clutching straws on this or not, but from my impression, without knowing anything about this game,
Mm-hmm.
is that the character. So, if you were to describe the value system of this character, what would you say? Would you know what I mean when I'm saying that? Like, it's what are the things that they value? If you don't know what is the things someone values, sometimes it's easiest to take a look. What are people's missions? What are they doing? Because the thing that they are walking towards, or the choices that they make, often is a reflection of their values. In other words, if I pick a apple over a pear, I value an apple over a pear.
Okay. Summed up, our value at the end of the day is that we want to leave this place.
Mm.
We want to leave this place that has caused a rift between myself, the player, and my twin. I want to quote unquote go home, leave this place, move on to another world, and continue journeying on with my twin.
Right.
I cannot do this because my twin has a mission, and now I must find out what this mission is and then choose whether to aid her or go against her.
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
Yes.
And in hopes that once we've figured this shit out, we
Yes.
can leave and like just leave.
Right.
So I believe the character's our character's value is to discover what's going on with the twin.
Do you think the character is sad that, you know, he or she
I do
Can't
not
find
know.
her twin?
No, we have found the twin.
Oh, right,
We've
right.
met face to face, and we
Right.
told her, "I found you now. Like, let us just leave and put all of this shit behind us."
Mhm.
And she once again she says, "No, go on this journey. You'll understand why I'm doing this."
All right. So you found her,
Yes.
and you guys pretty much said, "Hey, let's both fuck off." And she said, "No. You need to stay and do some shit."
And know why I'm in this position right now.
What position is she in? I'm confused.
She has been revealed. She's the major antagonist. Like, why is she the antagonist? Why?
What do you mean she's the major antagonist? What do you mean by antagonist? Antagonist to me means like she's the enemy.
She is the enemy.
Right.
Like, she is presented as the enemy.
Right. Then why don't you just fight her if you just met her?
Because there is a still very strong familial tie. We don't want to fight her. We want
Right,
to
right.
remain family
Right.
and leave this fucking place.
Right. So despite her being the obvious antagonist, you choose to find a reason for her not to be antagonist.
Yes, we are trying to justify
Yes.
our current journey. Went
Yes.
from find her to, all right, now we found her.
Yes.
She refuses to leave.
Yes.
I need to figure out why she refuses to leave.
Yes. But why don't you just kill her? Because you don't kill her because she's family.
That's my assumption.
Right.
That and she's bloody strong.
Right. But you guys are twins. If she's bloody strong, then you must be bloody strong as well.
Yes, but she has 500 years of experience over me.
I don't understand. How can she be 500 years older than you if you guys are
What
both
gods?
twins?
We're just
Oh,
like
okay,
fucking
okay.
like don't question it.
Okay, so it's not really twins. It's really just siblings.
We are siblings. Yes.
Yes. Not twins.
Okay, we're called twins.
Yes.
Because at the beginning,
Yes.
okay, one is a brother, one is a sister.
Yes.
Whether we're twins or not, I don't know.
Right. So
But-
it's just fucking siblings.
We're siblings.
Yes.
But we're like narratively we're presented as twins.
Right.
Like
Yeah. Maybe in the god context, what the fuck it is, 500 years means nothing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like in the moniker. No. Okay, we were both sealed away at different times.
Right.
So she, like, it's the idea of let's say, cryostasis. So we're both born at the same time,
Right.
but you thought out
Okay.
500 years earlier than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
It's a bunch of semantics. Don't worry
yeah.
about it.
Yes. But it's a bunch of bullshit.
Yes.
But I'm still coming back down to my main point, which is
How do I feel?
no. I don't give a shit about how you feel. I'm just trying to figure out whether there is this link between the popularity of this game, the theme of this game, and the one-child policy.
I don't see a strong link between the two. That is what I tried to say at the very beginning.
So what do you think is the appeal of this game in China? I mean, there's also
Okay, my opinion is that the biggest appeal of this game in China
yeah.
is that it's a Chinese game,
right.
which is,
But there's so many games in China.
but they're all shit. Like,
Yes.
like
So this one isn't shit.
it's less shit.
Right.
Like the idea of a AAA Chinese game is
But why can't they just play? You said this game is based off of like Zelda, or whatever the fuck.
Mhm.
Why can't people just play Zelda? Why would they choose to pick this game over the Zelda game?
Well, when it was first introduced,
Yeah.
like I'm pretty sure that Byron talked about it when we last all spoke.
Yeah.
Was that when this,
By the way, we gotta like wrap this up.
this ain't gonna wrap up anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean we can keep talking whilst I like do two things at once.
Yeah, basically when this game first came out, there was a lot